Hello everyone, this is my teaching memo for session 2. What a gorgeous day it was this morning, especially. I went for my mid-morning walk. My Fitbit is bossing me around again, telling me, hey, you got to get up and move. It's actually doing that right now. Nothing exciting this week for the Mooney Sagan team other than the Patriots won with a third string quarterback. They're now 3-0. Take that, Roger Goodell. And the Red Sox won 11 games in a row. Can you imagine? They were in last place last year, and they look like they're a cinch to win the division and maybe even get the top seed. They're battling Texas for that and Cleveland for that best one-loss record. So we will see. They're playing the Yankees for the next 3 days. Of course, you all know they swept them the last time they played them. Enough of that. Let's talk a little housekeeping. Many had issues with the embedded questions in my videos. I got many emails talking about that. That's why I sent out an email a couple of days ago saying, okay, please see my last teaching memo. I explain what to do if your video freezes. Now, one of the things that may be happening is that you are not waiting for it to load. One of you emailed me and said, hey, Dr. Tom, I waited for the video to load. It takes a while to load. I wasn't aware of that. So that could be possibly what's happening, that you're not waiting for the video to load. But I have TechSmith working on it. And I've also added links and additional resources, videos, in all materials, videos. I have these three videos, and you can stop it and take the test, write down the question, write down the answer, and email it to me. Many of you have done that. Then I just go in and update your video. So those of you that haven't done it yet, please make sure you do it. Don't leave this hanging over your head. For most of you, there was an issue with the online quiz for Chapter 1, which I mentioned in my last teaching memo as well, saying that it's not grading the matching section well unless you get them all correct. And so please wait till I go in and fix it and grade, and I'll change your grade. Well, of course, a zillion of you didn't read my teaching memo, emailed me, Dr. Tom, I saw it on the quiz discussion board. So I'm thinking, my God, why am I doing these videos and these teaching memos if nobody's watching them? So anyway, I'm doing it. I'm doing these anyway, whether you watch them or not. So if you email me, and I've mentioned it in my teaching memo, I'm just going to refer you back to it. That's it. So don't get angry. Just go back and read it or watch it. I changed that. Many of you are taking the quiz right after you take it the first time. That's fine. If you went into the quiz discussion board, most of you got the question wrong. That was a fill in the blank question about RTI being a blank process. It's in the very first line of Cohen and Spencer, Chapter 1 under RTI. And I directed people to that in the quiz discussion board, but most of you got that wrong. Also, a lot of you got the accommodation / modification wrong. That was a crayon. So if you can think of a reason that a crayon should be an accommodation, why someone would need that, please let me know, because I can't think of one. I would also suggest, to maximize your learning in this course, search for my comments in the discussion boards. I always have a teaching memo post. The one this week was just a kind of a general one to see, just to get you folks talking about where you would like to, focus your attention, what you think is the most important thing in the course. But usually in the future, they will be pretty deep, causing you to go deeper into the course. You can also find a lot of my responses. I have made, I think I searched and I had like 40 posts in the discussion boards. And so look, you can search for my post by going into the discussion board and I'll go into all discussions. And if you click on, okay, I'll go into the other discussion post. If you click over here on the right, search, put in my name, Owenny, um, and hit go, it will show you all of my posts, and you can see how many there are. Lots and lots. So I would look for those, and and jump in. Anybody can try. And I usually say, I'll usually say, Jennifer and anyone else, or Jennifer and others. So, um, you know, um, anyone can and respond to me, jump into, and I would encourage that because it really is going to deepen your understanding of assessment. So uh, do that. Also, uh, you should all be asking good questions. That's how the conversation goes deeper. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I really wonder about this. And that gets your classmates and your group mates thinking about it too. So asking good open-ended questions is always a good thing to do at the end of your post, and kind of separate it so we can all see it. Um, Finally, I want to remind everyone that you should be filling out your vocabulary in your own words worksheet, as well as the baseline summary. The baseline summary is going to be exactly as the same one you filled out to begin the course, but in the one that you will hand in at the end, you will have to use citations from our readings to support your comments. I'm going to grade that much stricter. I'm going to be much more stricter with my grading when it comes to for handing it in on time. You will lose credit on that one because it's at the end of the course. If you don't hand it in on time, you're going to lose points. And so be filling it out as you go through the course. That way you won't be stressed out, because there are a lot of things due at the end of the course. Your three-part analytic summary, vocabulary in your own words, and your baseline summary are all due in the last couple of weeks of the course. So you will be very stressed if you don't keep doing that now. Let's talk about session 1 and 2. The assessment literacy discussion board is now closed. I will be grading it this week, next 2 weeks actually. For your information, each DB as well as each DEJ, which the first of which you will do in this next week, next session, will increase in weight as the course goes on. This is a grading system that accounts for students' use of feedback as the course continues. So it just makes sense that your discussion board posts and your DEJs will get better as the course goes on, because you will be getting feedback from me. Your final discussion board and double entry journal will carry the most weight. It's a very fair way to grade, which we will talk about later on in the course. The last 2 sessions discussion board was an introductory one where pretty much anything assessment wise was fair game. Many of you mentioned such hot topics as teaching to the test, using assessment results to evaluate teachers and promote students, and your aversion or support of the large-scale standard testing process. Several of you took the time to share some very helpful web articles, and that's what I'm looking for, is that you will use this as an inquiry-based process. Go deeper. I invite all of you, I invite all of the pre-K and K teachers, actually anyone, to visit additional resources. And I'm going to go there right now. I'm going to show you, if you go over to the left in additional resources, you'll see it right here. And I've added a lot of good stuff here. There's articles here, activators and summarizers. This is the CST Disabilities Guide, new teacher resources, articles from Cheryl Ann Tomlinson's book on differentiating instruction, the Ed TPA special ed material, formative assessments, art and science of teaching, 49 Techniques from Teach Like a Champion, Greg Lemov. And this one is a brand new, and it's thanks to you folks. This is a preschool assessment shared by Homira, and this is two-year-old checklist shared by Sharon Cruz. So it's a lot of preschool stuff. Another 20 tips for parents from preschool teachers. Another one from Homira, and this last one, developmental screening on authentic assessment. This is from the New York City Department of Ed website, and Shannon Wallace shared that. So thank you very much for sharing, and all of you are welcome to do that. It actually counts as being a citation, one of your 4 posts that needs a citation. So keep that in mind, and you're helping me grow my course, which I'm doing all the time, and I'm in no way, because I have a doctorate, do I know everything about assessment. And thanks to you folks, I'm learning new stuff all the time. So keep that up. Many of you expressed your distaste for large-scale assessments, many because you didn't do well, others because of the class time sacrifice, and still others who felt they encouraged teaching to the test and produced unnecessary test anxiety. We can change all that, and Kira shared an article by one of my favorite bloggers, Heather Walpert Gowron, on how you can make assessment meaningful. It is now part of my Session 1 course materials. And if you go into coursework by week, Session 1, course materials, handouts, I believe it is there. I haven't put it in both sections yet. It's in section 21, so I will move it there. If you go in section 21, you'll see it right here. How can we make assessment meaningful? And I will copy that and put it in section 23 as well. And that's what this course is about. The discussion boards are about is sharing material that will help this course get better and help all of you deepen your understanding of the assessment process. So thank you all of you who have shared material, and those of you, including those of you who I haven't mentioned, because I just don't have the time to talk about all of the good posts that were here. Finally, many of you quoted Howard Gardner in the Edutopia video that the world does not come in 4 choices. Well, I love Howard Gardner. He's done a great job with multiple intelligences, but the truth of the matter is that almost every occupation requires an entry-level test, whether it be the law boards, the GREs, or our own many teacher certification assessments. We need to know how to give them, but we also need to know how to take these tests in real life. So these are real life skills that we're teaching students by teaching them how to do well on tests. So as I mentioned before, I'll try to highlight a few exemplary posts in the coming teaching memo, so don't feel ignored if you shared something wonderful and I did not mention it. There are way too many good posts for me to document here. Assignments for Section 3. You got 3 assignments in this semester, and I will go to the coursework by week. Session 3. You'll notice that Session 3 it goes for 2 weeks. It's due October 9th because of the holidays. You have 4 objectives, learning targets, accurately describe the 3 tiers of response to intervention, and approximate what percentage of students should be in each level. To identify 3 websites where you can locate research-based interventions. RTI is all about research-based core instruction and research-based interventions. Where do you find them? Well, you'll find that out this session. To accurately distinguish a CBM, a curriculum-based measurement, from other types of assessment and describe how to accurately monitor student progress. Many of you will skip that part of response to intervention, but progress monitoring is a big deal. So you need to mention that in your double entry journals. Don't leave that out. And describe one research-based intervention and clearly explain how it can be used in a regular or special education class. And you will see by the assignments I'm going to show you that um, that um, they will be something that you will learn this semester, this session. Favorite intervention discussion board. It doesn't close July 3rd. It closes October 9th. So you have 2 weeks to research a research-based intervention. And I've given you 3 websites in which to look those up. And if you go on to the discussion board, all discussions, you will have there will be links to those. You'll see the What Works Intervention Central. That's a big one. What Works Clearinghouse and Intervention Hero. So you will look at those. I would recommend using Intervention Central. It's Jim Wright's website, and you will go into your group and you will record your intervention, 3 to 5 minute video, and make sure that you go in and look at what everyone else is doing. I do not want you to 2 people to do the same intervention. My goal is that you will get a whole bunch of interventions into your repertoire, or into your bag of tricks. You need to respond to at least 5 posts, so that'll give you 6 posts. So you need to go in and respond to 5 of your posts in a way that shows me that you watched the video. So if you just go in and say, oh, so and so, that was a great video, I loved it, and I think that intervention is wonderful, I will not count that. You have to you have to respond in a way that tells me you actually watched that, and I'm going to watch all of them. So I will know if you watched it or not. So don't try to fake it. So you have to do one video, post it, and I've given you instructions on how to post your, how do you make your video and how to post it. If you go into this week's presentation, I believe I have video presentations. I believe I have. Let me look. Make sure. Let's see if they're in course materials. I think there might be in course materials. Here's how to embed videos in Blackboard. I'm also going to add another one on how to take videos with your cell phone. With your iPhone, but it'll work for any phone, Android phone or iPhone. So that there will be another video here about how to do that. So how to embed it into the discussion board and how to take the video will be here. So everything will be there for you. You'll see handouts. There's vocabulary in your own words again. This is the Fisher and Fry chapter that you'll be doing the double entry journal on. And these are the other RTI resources that you will connect to. And you don't have to connect to all of them, and you don't have to write something about all of them, but they're here. They're here for you to connect to talk, to help you understand the RTI process. And this is the only time you're going to really get an in-depth look at it. I'm not sure what you've had in other courses, but this is what you do. Now, your double entry journal, you'll notice I usually have, you've usually have done one already by now, but I didn't have it in my first session. So you're going to start off by doing this very simple assignment, grade the DEJs. I'm not looking for a lot of writing in this. You're just going to grade the double entry journals. And I believe I have an exemplar. This is an example grade the DEJs, but it's not the double entry journals that you're looking at here. Yeah, this is for a different, but you can get an idea of what I'm looking for. This is how I want you to evaluate them. They go from high quality. The double entry journal 1 is high quality. Double entry journal 4 is of the lowest quality. So that will give you an idea. But this is I'm just giving you a way that you rate the double entry journals. Each one is worth 4 points total, 8 points. I mean 8 points altogether, and you make a comment as to why you rated them that way. So this is just an example of comments that I made on a different double entry journal. So that'll help you a little bit, I hope. So you're just going to make one post and you're going to respond to 5 of your classmates and say, hey, I agree with you there. Nothing big. I'm not looking for extensive writing in this discussion board, just agreeing or disagreeing with your classmates and why. I also thought that was good, and I also felt they connected to this article and this article too. So that's all I'm looking for. Boom. I don't want you to work real hard on this, but I just want you to get an idea of what I am looking for in your double entry journal. Okay, here's the rubric. It's just a simple 2-part rubric, quantity and quality, and it goes from 1 to 4. Your next assignment will be favorite. I talked about that, the favorite intervention, and uploading that and responding to your classmates. And I believe, so that's it. So you have 2 discussion boards. One is for video, one is for grading these 4 exemplar double entry journals. And you have a double entry journal yourself that's due in 2 weeks. So you got a little bit of work to do, but you got 2 weeks to do it. So that's what's coming up for this week's assignments. What else do I want to tell you about? It's very important that you watch my videos this week. I really go into the readings and tell you what I think is important. So I expect to see some of the things I mentioned in my video in your double entry journal. So I will be able to tell if you didn't watch it from the very first entry you make. And you will know what entry I want you to make first by watching my videos. So I'm looking forward to meeting all of you by watching your videos. I really love this discussion board. It's my students in the past have really loved it as well. They've got a lot out of it, and you will too. So that's it. I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. And we will have 3 weeks off after that. So if you don't get your double entry journal done this week, don't worry about it. You have 3 weeks after that. Of course, we'll have other assignments too, but I don't take points off for written work that's handed in late. So if something comes up and you can't get something in, that's okay. I don't take points off. The only thing you lose credit for is the discussion boards because they close. And you can no longer post. So that's it. See you all in 2 weeks.